Tony Kariotis needs no introduction. Many of us know him as I Am Greece on Instagram and from the popular Apagorevete series. The founder of Greece Media joins us to chat about his latest tour in Greece and recent endeavors. Hi.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much and welcome to the very first episode of Έλα Να Τα Πούμε.
Amazing, congratulations. It's an
Thank,
honor.
thank you very
But in
much.
all seriousness, congratulations on the new show.
Thank you very much. So your recent tour in Greece has been the longest one yet. You've been taking us all around Greece for the past 5 months. Tell us all about it and where you went.
Yeah, it turned out a lot longer than anticipated. And originally we started off planning for at maximum 3 months, and turns out we stayed for 5. Um, we s- where did we go? We started off in Anafi, a very small, quiet island that not many people you probably even know about. It's a small island off of Santorini, which is like the untouched Santorini, they say. There's literally one town, and there's not even like a doctor on the island.
Oh,
And there's apparently we were told by the hotel's barista that there's one woman that comes around like once a month and cuts everyone's hair. It's
oh, that's so bad.
yeah, yeah. So we did a Nafi, then afterwards we went to Santorini, and it was complete opposite. Completely packed. Where else did we go? We did the Paros Adiparos. Then we went back to Athens. We went to Kalamata, where my dad's side of the family is from. I went down with a few friends. We visited Chania in Crete. We went back to Santorini because we had a connection to go to Amorgos. So we decided to stay 3 nights in Santorini on the way. And where else did we go? We back to the mainland. We went up to Kavala / Eleftheroupoli. That's where Maria's family's from. So visit both sides. And from there, we did a family trip to Limnos. And that's been an island that's been on my list for quite some time, because a few years ago, somebody was telling me how Greece has everything that the world has. And so if you think about it, you're like, oh, well, we don't have a desert. Well, there is a desert, and it's on Limnos. And that was really cool to experience. Then we went back, and then we went to Thessaloniki on the way back down south. Where else did we go? But then to Kariotis, see the rest of my side of the family. Then back to Athens, and there wasn't a lot of moving around after that. We stayed in Athens. There was a lot of stuff going on that kept delaying us from leaving. And that's mainly the whole tour.
And of course, we've all enjoyed your Apagorevete series. And it's
Thank
gotten
you.
so popular and it's going strong. Did you ever expect it to get that big?
Absolutely not. No, I had no idea when we first did. We did it strictly out of fun because somebody had yelled it at me so hard that I was just like, you know what, let's just have fun with this, because I just couldn't stop saying it after the way he just like demolished me with this massive about whatever that. And yeah, now it's like if I walk through Athens or I walk through anywhere in Greece, someone's gonna say, "Yep,
Yeah.
there." It's incredible. And part of the reason we stayed longer is one of my biggest goals, and it's not necessarily like a business goal, it's more of just like a that'll be cool if this happens goal, and it's always been is to do something that'll get me on the Eleni Menegaki show.
Nice.
And that's what happened, and that's why we stayed longer, because the co-host had reached out and for coffee, because he had left like a comment last year, and I didn't really know much about him. And then we started following each other. I sent him a T-shirt. He wore it live on TV. So I'm like, all right, this guy's cool. And so he reached out. He goes, let's grab coffee. So I'm like, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm gonna tell him I want to get on the show. But before I can even got it out of my mouth, because I halfway through like the coffee date, it was me, him, Maria. I'm like, all right, right now's the moment. And as I was about to do it, he said it. I'm like, and I just had to play it cool. Yeah, Maria, we have time or something like that. Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we'll do it. We did it, and it was that night when we left meeting with him, we were just speechless walking back to the car, like that really just happened, because it's like the one thing that we want. Like it was the ultimate goal, and then watching it air like 2 weeks later was another unreal moment. And in between those 2 weeks, the co-host and I met up to shoot 5 episodes together, where he takes the place of Maria, where I yell at him. and we slowly been dripping those out over the last couple months.
So, Tony, you have made travel into a career. How did that
Yeah.
all start?
So probably like 5 years ago, maybe it's six, times just flying. I was just on a regular trip to Greece, and I don't know, I was just taking some pictures, and I was like, and then it was time to come back. And I was like, I gotta find a way where to turn. I got the travel bug hard that year. I went to Milos, so I was like Sarakiniko for the first time. I'm like, all right, why do I gotta work? Like, this is where I want to be, like every day. So I'm like sitting there trying to find a way. I'm like, in the next year or two, I'm gonna find a way to turn Greek island hopping into a career. And then using social media, building a following, allowed me to take a chance and do that. Like I did well for myself in the past, where I put the right pieces in place. I built a foundation where I was able to afford a year or two away from my work to risk this. And here I am now. It's 5 years later, and I feel like the pieces are finally in place where we have something that will allow me to be back and forth from Greece, be working from anywhere in Greece, and yeah.
You're definitely living our dream.
Yeah.
Being in Greece. So another milestone of yours is the launch of your first photo book, Naked Greece, and it includes
Yes.
100 original photos from your travels. What inspired
Yes.
you to put the book together?
Um, I guess I don't know. It was middle of the summer, and I was just trying to find more tangible products for the company, but at the same time, I was like, I have this massive gallery in my Adobe Lightroom and my hard drives. I'm like, why? Like, but I always had this idea that okay, no one wants print anymore, but I feel like it's sort of coming back again. And I just said it's not that hard to lay out pictures. Why don't I just, and I've always had this strategy, I guess you'd call it, where if I want to do something, I'm the biggest procrastinator there is. Like I'm a professional pro procrastinator, whatever you want to call it. Um, so one strategy I have is if I want to do something, I have to put it out there publicly, since I have a following now. So I basically said, you know what, I'm going to do a book, and I put it on social media. I'm like, pre-sale starts next week. I didn't even have a picture picked yet. So now, like, oh my God, I have a due date. I have a boss. Like, all the followers are my bosses. If I fail, I fail. So I started doing the pre-sale, and orders were coming in. And once I saw that the orders were coming in, that gave me the confidence. I'm like, all right, I'm going to invest the time now. People actually care and want to do it. So I went through and just picked out like 120 of my favorite photos, trimmed them down to 110, trimmed them down to 100, ordered the sample, got the sample in, I approved it, got the shipment in, signed them all off for the pre-sale edition. So whoever pre-ordered got a signature copy plus a t-shirt and a digital copy. And most of them have been received, but those like in Australia and some other unique parts of the world haven't gotten them yet, which is unfortunate because there's nothing we can really do. It takes forever to ship that far. But anyone who's ordered like US, Canada, and actually not in Greece yet either. The Greece and Australia customers still are waiting, unfortunately. But yeah, that's my first 100 photos from the first 5 years, and the way I did it, where I labeled the location and the year inside the photo page, and that's what it is. Decided to call it Naked Greece just to play off my film series, Naked Santorini, Naked Films. So I just felt it's appropriate to keep it like on brand.
And Tony, in addition to content creation, you also provide other services, from everything from obtaining Greek citizenship to helping people navigate the digital nomad world. So tell us about what people can find at Greece Media.
Sure. Anyone that's looking to obtain their Greek citizenship through Ancestry, we can provide a consultation that'll prepare them to apply. Same goes with the digital nomad visa, which is something that's still pretty new. It's something that I've even considered, but I never actually went through with mine. But it is a good strategy for some people that do have remote jobs. It is required that you do not work in Greece. You just have to have a job that's remote. There are a bunch of requirements that the government requires, but it doesn't cost a lot to apply. I think it's like $75. whereas getting a citizenship can cost a ton.
Right.
Other services, we do free daily travel tips where we post an article every day. We're like top 10 things to do in Milos, top 10 things here, or what to do here, stuff like that on the blog. We've invited some guest writers to write on our blog, and those go out every day, but we share one new one daily. And we have our film series, like I mentioned, Naked Grease film series, the photo book. We have a merch shop. I feel there's one more thing, and it's not coming to me. Oh, you can book your ferry tickets all around Greece. We have a partnership with one of the ferry booking agencies where we implement the search engine on our site. And just some other Greece travel information. We build custom itineraries for people. So let's say you want to go to Greece and you've heard of Mykonos, you heard of Santorini, but you want someone that can build you something super unique. We have that where it's based off personality. There's like a 50-question questionnaire that gets filled out, and then we go through it and build an itinerary for them.
Very nice. Where it's great how you're helping people make their Greece dreams come true as well.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yes.
But Tony, before we wrap up this interview, we do want to ask you a few rapid fire questions, just so then people get to know you a little better.
Sure.
So the first one.
I feel the pressure.
If you're ready for it. What is the first thing you do when in Greece?
Buy a coffee.
Nice. Which coffee? What do you get?
Alfredo espresso.
Nice. So in your opinion, what's the #1 spot in Greece to visit?
Milos.
Somewhere you haven't gone yet in Greece that is on your bucket list.
Adipaxos.
What is the biggest misconception of what you do as a professional traveler?
That we do nothing.
Which is not true. How soon do you plan your next trip to Greece once you are back in the US?
A week before I go.
Really? Oh. I was expecting like right away.
Sometimes sooner. It depends if I'm like working with hotels and stuff, because we also do, Greece Media also offers marketing opportunities for companies. So hotels may partner with us. So those, I give them an idea of when I'm going to be there. I just can't give them hard dates because I just don't know when I'm going to leave.
Nice. Well, Tony, it's been so fun chatting with you. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to keep up with Tony, be sure to follow him on Instagram. That's @IamGreece, and head over to greecemedia.com for your copy of Naked Grease.